Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. Unity is one of the most important companies in gaming. It's the game engine that most mobile games are built on. Very powerful company in the gaming industry, but it's not a profitable company. And that core problem has led to a lot of disastrous changes over just the last week or so. That has caused the stock to fall. It's caused people to question the company's leadership. And ultimately, this is a company in crisis. So I want to go through at least a few of the things that are going on and why this is such a crisis for Unity. My name's Travis William. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And I want to start with the company's financials because really that's where this comes from. So this is a quick overview of Unity. Market cap is about $13 billion as we stand today. They do have debt on the balance sheet, a little bit more debt than cash. So enterprise value of $14.3 billion. But what I want to highlight is the company's financial performance, which is not all that strong. Now, I mentioned that this is one of the most powerful companies or most important companies in the gaming industry because it's the development tool that a lot of creators are using on mobile apps to create their games. It's the game engine. So think about it like the development platform that everybody is building on. It's really the critical tool because developers don't want to have to create their own game engine. That would be insanely costly. They want to just be able to use something off the shelf. Unity is really the leader in mobile games, has a number of other areas where they use like virtual reality and basically every other digital gaming platform or development platform. And then the other big one is the Unreal Engine that has really moved to more PC games and high-end games, but is also starting to take market share from Unity. So this is Unity's financial performance. You can see only about $2 billion worth of revenue. Net loss is about $1 billion, and free cash flow was negative $130 million in the past year. So this is the problem, is their pricing model has not led to a profitable business. This is not a new company. It is no longer a startup and is now a public company. So they need to start showing that they can make money. They do charge a seat license, but it is really free to start getting going with the company. And then the hope over the last few years was that they were going to be able to build an advertising network that would actually drive profitability and align incentives for developers and Unity. But that has not really come to fruition, particularly after 8. So what did they do? Well, they announced some pricing changes that would charge developers based on app installations. The problem with that is it makes experimenting with new things very costly. You didn't necessarily get any benefit from what you developed or generate any revenue just based on somebody installing your app. It was also effectively retroactive. They were going to be starting on January 1st, 2024. But if you developed a game 2 or 3 years ago under a different business model from Unity, you would still have to pay those fees. So they said last night, as I'm recording on Sunday, that they were going to change these fees to something different, but we still don't know exactly what that is. The Unreal Engine is a little bit different. Like I said, that's their major competitor. They don't actually start charging anything until a developer reaches $1 million in revenue, and then they charge 5% of a revenue generated. They also have their own game store, which you can forego some of those fees if you sell your game through the Epic Store. We also know that Unity was going to give basically a loophole for developers to not have to pay this installation fee by using their ad network. So if you use Unity's ad network, now Unity has a way to generate money based on what you're developing. You get to share in that as well. And now they don't need to charge you for the installations as a proxy for the revenue that you're generating. If that was the case, it was not really clearly communicated with people. And so there has been a massive backlash to Unity. Now, like I said, this is a very big, important, and actually very sticky company in the gaming industry. Despite that very important position, it's not a profitable company. So that's really the challenge that management is trying to figure out, is how do we turn this into a profitable company? For investors, I think the opportunity right now is this the kind of crisis that actually pushes a management team that has not been able to turn Unity profitable, has not had the greatest public relations or even the best strategy, does this actually force the board of directors to actually push that management team out and replace them with people who can actually build a business model that is profitable, that benefits developers, that benefits shareholders, and ultimately makes a much, much bigger company? That's actually what I'm going to be watching in the future. This is a company that I was very excited about when they came public because I know how important they are in the gaming industry and the development industry. But when you start looking at their financials, it's really hard to be excited about a company that's losing money, but despite having a dominant position in mobile game development. So, great idea that they're pushing new ways to generate more revenue, but you have to do that in a way that works for all of your stakeholders. And that's not what Unity is doing right now. That's created an existential crisis. But we have seen these moments of crisis can actually be opportunities for companies and for investors. So if this does get resolved in a way that makes everybody happy, including maybe pushing the current management out, I think that may actually be a bullish sign for Unity long term. That's what I'm going to be keeping an eye on, and why this stock is now on my radar more than ever. But what do you think about what's going on at Unity? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.